All right, so tonight's topic is 50-50 good in a relationship? Now, we got some ideas of a 50-50 relationship, sounds appealing, but on the surface, it might not be as well as we think it is. So we're gonna start it off with a couple of questions for y'all people. We got special guests on the show. We got Tactical Tina. Tell them about yourself, Miss Tactical Tina.
Hello, everyone. I am Tactical Tina. I've been on YouTube since '09, but Tactical Tina ing for the last maybe 5 years. Um, I'm just an enthusiast, so a 2A enthusiast. So visit my page and you'll see what I'm all about.
All right, and then we got our other guest there, Miss Mika.
Hello.
And we have once again our regular guest, Miss Elle.
Hey, hey.
All right, all right. What does 50-50 in a relationship mean to y'all?
Ladies first. Ladies first.
Jump on in, the rope is going.
Okay, 50-50 to me, when I hear 50-50, I think about when each person in the relationship is splitting or sharing the responsibilities of the household, paying equally. That's what I think about when I hear 50-50. However, not necessarily what I agree with, but that's kind of what I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I can agree with that. 50-50, I think it's more than just financially. It should be something emotionally as well, because a relationship is more than just, it's definitely more than just about money.
Oh yeah.
A lot of things come into play when it comes to actually uh, a relationship. Because if everybody broke, I'm sure it's going to be a lot of bumps in the road. And if financially someone isn't playing their part, so to speak, if unless you guys have an agreement, like okay, whomever, and it's usually the lady, can just chill on contributing financially, I bet you she'll have to contribute in many other ways around the household. But but yes.
All right, all right. What you say, Lynch? What you think on that now?
Miss L.
So when I first heard we were discussing this topic, my mind went to financial because that's just when people talk about 50-50 relationships, is normally talking about the financial aspect of it. Um, and I don't necessarily agree, with that. That's just where my head goes. So,
Mm. So let's dig in a little deeper. So what other thing besides money, of course, you know, what if that person's ill? What if that person lost his job? I mean, how do you navigate that 50-50?
So I don't necessarily think or believe in necessarily like 50-50, because when you're talking about a household, it takes 100%. And it really just depends on the dynamics of the financials. Because let's say if one person is making 100,000, someone else is making 80, 50-50 it's not really equal then, per se. So I think you really have to just do what works best for your household. And in that, and then when someone's sick or down and out, whoever it is just has to fill in for 100% in that time. Because as a couple, whether you're married, you're living together, whatever, the goal is for the household to run efficiently and for everyone to be taken care of and be okay. So then 100% falls in on whoever that person is who needs to sustain it.
Mhm.
So are you saying one person should pay 100%, or you
I hear a
saying
lot.
equally?
Well, I think people have to do what works for their finances. I hear a lot, in social media, all these women, it seem like they want a relationship where the man is paying 100%. Like they want him making like just 200,000-300,000 and paying all the expenses. And they just, are able to just, I guess, be a stay-at-home wife or whatever, and not paying anything. Well, it depends, because if your man is not making that kind of money to do that, that's not a bad thing. You just have to deal with the dynamics of what you have and what's working for you. And it may not be 50-50, it may not be 100, it may not be 50-50, maybe 70-30, it may be 80-20. It just depends.
Hmm.
I kind of feel like there's a misunderstanding of what 50-50 is. Like on the surface, you're thinking the obvious 50-50, right? So, like I think Elle made a great point about the financial part. I think both you, actually, all you ladies kind of agree with that. But it's a lot to really unpack from that 50-50. I think in order to, I don't really believe in. Let me just say that I don't really, based off my experiences in relationships, I don't really necessarily believe it works. A lot of times, I think it's hard for people in relationships kind of come together and have these conversations that are necessary to ensure that the household in itself is getting 100% from both parties. I feel like when you talk about the so-called 50-50, um, which doesn't really exist, it's really 100-100. But when you talk about like a household that's thriving, I feel like you gotta be working together. And working together means, in my opinion, like I'm okay with the at least a joint bank account. So a lot of times, I know we as men have to swallow our egos because that's difficult. You know what I'm saying? And like with me, I didn't realize that I wasn't great with money until I actually got in a relationship. After I had my son back in 1996,
Right.
moving in with this lady, you know what I'm saying? It's a whole new situation. I'm thinking, like, okay, I work every day. Surely I can, you know what I'm saying, take care of these responsibilities, or whatever. But I soon found out that's not my strong suit. So I had to kind of like swallow my pride and be like, you know what? I'm gonna let this lady right here because she know how to stretch a few dollars and make some things happen. I'm gonna let her handle that financial part. You know what I'm saying? And I'm okay with doing, you know what I'm saying, a lot of other duties around the house. So it's really about just kicking in and putting in a little extra where your partner cannot. That's my opinion.
Everybody works to their strength.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
'cause, I mean, sometimes I think, it might, sometimes I think 50 relationships probably give you constant scorekeeping, if y'all know what that mean. I'm saying,
Mm.
and also kind of like can develop potential resentment towards your partner. Um, so I would have to say, like you said, each his own, but I don't know if 50-50 would work in most relationships because those are the kind of things that will develop. You may feel like your partner who makes more money gets to have a bigger allowance after paying
Mm.
their portion of the bills, which can
Mhm.
also be a problem too because when you get married, you're supposed to be as one, so your finances and everything become one. Like, hey, my 100 grand
Facts.
is your 100 grand. Your
Mhm.
50 grand is my 50 grand. I
Oh
just
yeah.
think you got to figure out what's going to work for y'all or work for your work for you and your partner.
Your relationship, yeah.
Cause
Hmm.
right, cause you don't want to make your partner. I feel like you don't want to make your partner feel like they less than, and that can develop some huge problems in my opinion.
I think a lot of problems with relationships is that we put too many titles on anything. When you find your partner, you're supposed to be collaborating together to make a life better for you both.
Hmm.
So saying, okay, are we gonna do a 50-50? I don't even think that should be the discussion. The discussion should be how do we create a better life for both of us together
Right.
instead of just talking about, hey, we're gonna do 50-50 or whatever. I
Right.
think that as time goes and you decide who pay what bill, and okay, I pay the mortgage, you handle some of the utilities, I handle some of the utilities, or I handle all the car notes or whatever. However, you sit down with your mate, you write down what's feasible for both of you.
Hmm.
You both should know what each one makes, right?
Mhm.
Who can handle what that's more than the other. But it's just working together is what will make that situation work better for me. My wife and I, we don't talk about 50-50. We just, we just do it. Now, if we doing something like remodeling the house, and let's say she make more money than me, I'm still gonna pull my share though. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I have to prepare myself as a man to be prepared to invest in those things with her because a lot of times we already know the woman always wants to remodel. So the man, we need to be prepared for that. You know what I'm saying? We don't necessarily need to get some new curtains or some new paint on the wall. We cool with it.
We'll
But
be
if
all
the
right.
wife want that, but if the
Hmm.
wife want that, we want to make sure that she's happy. So to make
L,
sure
what's
that
that
she's
look over
happy,
there, L?
I'm going to be ready for that. You know what I'm saying? See,
Stand by.
I already know what L for the say. I already
Well,
know what L for the say.
well, hold on. We
Go
gonna see
ahead,
what she
L.
has to say,
Go
L.
ahead.
So, L, say
Go
what you gonna
ahead.
have to
So
say.
why does the woman have to be the one to remodel? Number one, and then don't act like you don't enjoy the remodel stuff.
I
Now
didn't.
Well,
I
now
didn't
hold on,
say.
hold
you
on,
I didn't
hold
furniture, you
on.
say.
sit in it,
I
you
did not
love looking
say.
at the
Hold on. Wait.
drapes.
But
See.
we don't.
See.
And
I
the
did not
food,
What
say.
he's
fresh
saying is,
home.
I never said that I don't enjoy it. But who gonna think about getting some remodel before the other? Answer
Us.
that.
It
Us.
depends on who you marry. Some men
Who's
into
come
that.
on?
Yep.
Who is going to
Hey,
come up with the idea of changing what the house look like?
Well, I'm a
ooh,
DIYer. You know what I'm saying?
Depends.
I
see,
I I stay ready to change something
See?
and do something. You know what I mean?
See?
He's
we
different.
got one
So
on the call.
you know
Yeah,
what I
he's
mean?
different.
Right. I might be a little different.
He don't like diamond in his rings, but he like to change that. He like to
Right. You
change.
know what I'm
He
saying?
like to change
It's
the curtains. I mean,
right.
look at
Exactly.
what it is.
You know,
You
my
know,
my thing is like we may not have an island in the kitchen, and I've always wanted this island, and I got
right,
this kitchen that's big and for an island. I'm
right.
probably going, if not do it myself, I'm going to probably pay somebody who's capable.
What about a
and then
pot?
on
I'm not
top of that,
saying.
but
A
see, on
deck?
I'm
top of
not.
that, there too, when y'all
Go
start
ahead, smoke.
decorating, it ain't suited for us anyway. Y'all have us in pink and lavender all over the
Yes,
place.
You know
yes. Don't
what?
have nothing.
You
Don't have no
stereotype.
input.
Yeah, we can't have
Just
too
okay.
many dark
Love, hey, love seat shaped like a heart in the den.
But
Yeah,
you sitting
I'm
on
just
it though.
saying,
Living room look like a man
we ain't
cave.
got no
Oh
choice. We ain't got
wow,
no
we ain't got no
choice.
choice. I can sit
wow.
on the floor.
We ain't got no choice. Listen, let me
Yeah.
tell y'all a story real quick. Me and Elle was talking one day. She had showed me this home, right? And it had this it's and you know what smoke y'all would love this.
Okay,
It had this room. It was long, but it had like two parts to it, right?
okay.
And it's obvious whoever had it first, he had his TVs and his couches in the first part of it. And the other part he had a pool table, a DJ setup and everything, right?
Sound like me all
Had
day.
all his Falcon stuff
That's
and
me.
all that.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
said, I agree with him. I would take that whole room. She said I was wrong. Now you get the whole rest of the house.
So do
Right.
The
you. So do
entire
you.
house. All I want is one room.
Wait a
All I
minute,
No,
wait a
want
no.
is
minute, wait a
one
minute.
room.
One room. That's what he's saying. He said he just want
One
one room.
room.
No,
That's
no,
all I'm
no,
asking.
no,
I
no.
need
See,
one.
okay. I just want everybody to understand. So it was you walk into this one room, and then from that room you walk into another room. Okay. So there's two rooms
It
that are
was all
separate
open. There
from
were no
the door.
doors in between. There were no doors in between.
Right.
But you can
All
put
you
a door.
saw, all you saw
You can
was a
put a door.
baseboard.
Okay.
You saw a
But
little
you can
baseboard
put
in
a door.
between them.
He keeps
But there
saying,
was no door.
but you can
Oh,
put one. He keeps saying you have the whole house. No, we both have the whole house.
not necessarily.
Okay. All
Not
Why
I'm
why it's got to
saying
be
was
pink
he
and
can.
lavender?
These colors, man. Who agreed on that?
Go ahead, go ahead. Who agreed on that color?
All I'm saying is he
Straight
can
out.
I might
have
want that.
the man cave and she can have the she shed, whatever you want to call it. They
That don't need
side
to
by
be next
side.
door to me. That don't
Why
need
you
to be
need
next
both?
door to
We
me.
so okay.
I can put your she shed on the back of the house. I can build your whole she shed on the back of the
It
house.
doesn't even have central air.
Oh wow.
No, no, it's gonna have
Wait.
air. It's gonna
Oh,
have air and
oh,
heat.
Neutral.
That'll be a
oh,
deal breaker
window unit.
otherwise.
It's gonna
Window
have
unit.
air and heat with windows. I'm gonna give you everything you need out there. But that one little room
Why did you
upstairs
go
gonna
outside?
be you're not going outside. It's gonna be connected to the house.
Okay. If it has central air and heat, it's got to be connected.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
But what I'm
I
trying
never
to ask,
said you
what's
couldn't
the?
come in now.
Oh, I'm just saying, what's the issue? Why it can't be next door to each other though? Smoke. I mean, show. Why it can't be right next door to each other? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
No, what I'm saying is the way the house was set up, it had the one little room,
The one little room.
like it had a house like that, but he had his man cave, right? But
Uh-huh.
it just had like a little big baseboard in the middle, like a little doorway, but it was no door. It was just
It was a
Yeah.
one.
doorway. You could put a door there.
Mine was like a loft.
Listen,
It was like a bonus
that's
room.
what
But
it is.
yeah,
It's a
it was a
loft.
loft.
It's a
Yeah.
loft. It's a
Right.
loft.
Right.
But it's an extra long loft because he had his pool table too.
That's yeah. I ain't having no room for a pool table and DJ
Yeah, see, he
equipment.
had all that.
It was
That's all I'm
either
That
saying.
or.
sounds like
But
a billion.
But
That,
uh,
for real, for
but
real.
but nine times out of ten, we all agree that the lady sometimes gonna want to change some things in the house before the man even think of it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying a man don't never have an idea of maybe changing something,
I had
but
to agree.
but majority of the time it's gonna be the woman first who's gonna look at that house. Say, you know what? I'm tired of these curtains. Come on, let's go to curtain world. Next day we know we up there hanging curtains. You know what I'm
Wait a
saying?
minute, whoa, wait a minute. Once again, you just talked about fixing bed rails last episode. Now, where's Curtain World located?
It's right next door to Curtain Mark.
I just made up.
I've
I
been
just made up a
Curtain
name.
World.
I just made up a
Good
name.
God, man.
I
right.
just made up a name. I just made up a name, bro.
That curtain
I
world.
just made up a
Right.
name, bro.
What your wife said?
That's-
Baby, let's go to Curtain World.
Right.
Did we have something like that?
Man, we gotta go back to Curtain World.
Did we have something like that in Rushmore Road? On Rushmore
No.
Road, what was it?
That was
Fabric City
called.
or something like
It was
that?
called Cloth
That
World.
was Joanne's fabric.
Cloth World. Okay, Cloth World. Curtain World. Okay, come on, dog. You,
Right.
oh my
No.
God. You ridiculous sometimes, Smoke. Go ahead. Let's
Oh.
move on. See, that's why you went out. See, God's right there.
And you said, go ahead. Like you
There
put
it
it
is.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
get out of here. Get out of here with that crazy talk.
Man, here he come. Let me tell him. Let me give a quick message.
You got to hold his hand. You had to hold his finger on the button or something. You got to hold your finger on
Smoke,
that
you
button.
got to pay that Wi-Fi bill. That's Smoke.
You got to
You
I gotta
it,
pay
bro.
this.
that bill, brother.
On
I gotta
time.
pay this. I gotta pay this
Right.
hotspot bill. But
Yeah,
anyway,
no, that's a cool spot. I
I
told
have
you
a
that. That's
question
not a
for
hot
the
spot.
panel. I have a
Okay,
question.
go ahead.
for the
Go
panel.
ahead.
This is just a scenario. How would you feel as a man if your wife or your new wife decided, okay, when it comes to handling the bills, I want separate everything. Like I don't want a joint account. I want to keep, just like y'all was still single. I want to keep my account, and then you keep your account, and then we'll have a household account.
What
See,
else?
that's what we have in mind.
Everybody should have that anyway. Everybody should have
We
that.
have that. We have that.
It comes to
See
your
the smoky.
checking account,
Right.
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
and then your check does. His check goes to his checking account,
Yeah,
and then y'all have an account
for bills, the
just for
household.
the household stuff. Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
my question would be, what else are we doing as if we were single?
Yeah, see,
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
not-
Because
that's not being single because you have a household account. There's an account for the
but
household.
you don't know what's going on in your husband's account.
but here's the thing.
That's not my business.
Before she becomes my wife, that would be a conversation and an understanding. This don't just happen overnight. Like
Mhm.
it'll be an understanding. And if that doesn't work for me, you're not gonna be my wife.
It's still an individual.
I'm not gonna marry
Well,
you because
You never know.
actually,
that's too separate for me.
You don't know let your right hand know what your left hand doing. I'm still an individual. If I want to
see
say
that now. See that right there.
that
that's
sounds
my
like some
That
trust
right there.
issues,
That's
and
that
that's
right there.
That's
No,
not a
not a
trust
good.
issue. At
It
the
is
end
no.
of the
trust.
day,
Don't let the
and
black.
you-
You
Don't
don't
let the
listen.
black
I am
hand know what the
slow.
other hand
You
does.
don't know you.
I am grown. I have a job. I go to work every day.
Okay, we
I
all
work for my
grown.
money. I don't have a problem with contributing
Ooh.
to the household.
I
I'm gonna
my
contribute, but I work. I'm the one that paycheck says my name on it. I work every day.
I
And you know, it's funny because I
Red
began this conversation by speaking we because you're
red
married.
flags. Right.
No, but I'm talking about in
We-
terms of it is okay that I have my own
I
account.
thought I said
and he
my
has his own
100,000
account, and we
is
share an
per
account.
100,000. I thought whatever happened
So-
to that conversation there.
No,
It
because,
is.
but the
So-
scenario
Are
was
you trying to say
100,000 to
that
100,000.
I have a
500,000,
question, though.
100,000.
people
Go
should
ahead,
have their own
Elle.
money?
Go ahead.
Where
Elle.
does that switch over to now y'all are just roommates?
Right. Because essentially that's what we're doing.
I don't
We'll be
even
in
with a
that point.
roommate. When I had a roommate, we didn't have a joint account. For instance, if I go out with my friends and I'm spending money, I'm spending money in my account. I'm spending my money that's in my account. There's nothing wrong with that. For me having money from my account. When I go to do things, I have my money. That is my money. He has money. That's his money. If I want to go to the store and get something or do something, I want to go out to have food with my friends. I'm going to use the money that's in my account.
Right.
That's fine. That's
So here's
fine.
my question then. How is there a dollar amount where that's like, okay, nah, like for instance, could he bring home a boat out of his money
Right.
His money,
and you're
yes.
fine?
Yes, but in our joint account, there's an understanding that there's an understanding that hey, if it's going to be a purchase that's over a certain dollar amount, then it's a discussion. But
The joint account though.
yeah, the joint
But
account.
what about I'm saying your personal, so there's no limit on that. Like, okay, wait a minute, you just bought a BMW.
Because when I get ready to go shopping and do something, I'm gonna get what I want because that's
But
my money. I
you don't
save
even
my
consult
money.
with your husband. You would
Not about no.
like to say, hey, look, I'm thinking about
So-
getting married. You
Think
would
about
So,
not
what-
say that. You
so
would
no,
just,
no, no. Now let's reverse that, Tactical Tina. So
Mhm.
your husband don't have to consult with you with anything he does with his account
No,
at all.
I made this. I was given a scenario. I don't necessarily agree with it. I'm just asking.
No,
I
I'm
know
asking Mika. I'm
like
asking
that is
Mika.
what?
I know
So your
someone
husband
who's
Sorry
don't.
like,
about
Oh,
but
That is,
go
that
ahead,
is
that.
it
Tactical.
Me
what?
and my okay.
I
no,
said,
I don't agree with that. I
I
don't
said, does
agree.
your husband have to consult with you with whatever he's going to buy out of his account? He
Yes,
doesn't have to. He doesn't have to come to you about that.
I
No,
would.
that's
I
So,
would like
so
to
he
be.
can have all kind of Amazon packages just coming to the house.
I
Just
would
what
like
you
to be informed on
You
major.
bring home a pony. It
major.
don't matter. It don't.
Major purchases are one thing. Major
Huh?
purchases are something, but just if he goes to the mall and buys himself some shoes or some clothes, you don't have to say, I'm going here. Is it okay? No. Here's the
But
thing. At the end of the day, we all grown. We are grown. We
wait
are
a minute
adults.
now. But wait a minute now.
It,
Cause when we
I don't have to ask
rewind this
permission.
tape back and we hear Elle said, if you bring home a boat, would you have a problem? And you
In
said
it
no.
now.
No, because when we going on the boat, I'm glad we got the boat now. So can we go to the lake or can we go
So
somewhere?
it's our boat. It's our boat.
Yeah. Yeah. Now we got a boat. But it came out of his money.
Here's the thing.
Or did he
Everybody
finance
has a right to you work. You have a right. You don't have to ask another adult how to spend the money you work for. Now, once the household stuff is taken care of, whatever y'all decide on, like again, that could be, hey, we each putting in 50-50 of our check, or could be, hey, you make more, so you put in 70, I put in 30, or whatever. Whatever is left is up to you to spend how you want to. That's your business. Once
Well,
it comes to
actually,
household account, that's different. If you're trying to take money from that account and spend, you
well,
can't spend
actually,
you vote on that one.
yeah. Well, actually, in my home, we have, we have the account that I have. She has the account that she had. We have a joint account, but we still consult with each other on major purchases. It ain't like I'm asking for permission, but it's to be sure that I'm not hurting the major account that we have joint, to still make sure that our bills are paid. You know what I'm saying?
So
So
that joint account is primarily what the household is run from.
correct,
Correct. Okay.
correct.
All right.
Because see what happens is when you have that just one joint account and everybody putting everything in there, and then we know a lot of times we men can agree that women are more financially sound than we are sometimes, because we can see some things like, man, I'm gonna go get that, and it might not be the right time to get it. But what happens is sometimes the man get put in that position where now he's getting an allowance, and I'm nobody's child. I don't get an allowance.
See, that's the problem right there. See,
That's
the
why you have
problem
an
right there.
account. That's
We
why you got
gotta,
your
Yeah,
the separate
well,
accounts? Right.
but that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you get rid of the ego part. Like, I'm not a child. Here's the thing. I know in my household, my bank is ran by a female because she's better
okay,
with the money than I am. So when we
okay.
make big purchases, like you said, we do communicate. But I also have money for myself. But then what I learned through marriage is that money necessarily is not totally yours. Again, when we pay all the bills and the money I got left, that money ain't just all mine. I still gotta provide. Somebody gonna need some new shoes. Somebody gonna want to go out to eat, grocery shopping, the whole nine. Because a lot of people don't add in grocery shopping, or what if something tear up in that budget as well. It usually had to come out of your allowance budget.
not necessarily the
So
joint savings budget.
Yo, but see, Smoke, what
and
you
then
talking
like I
about?
said,
Go ahead,
Smoke.
go ahead, Smoke. Is Smoke
Is he
freezing on
froze?
it? Oh,
Thank you.
oh, his hot spot done cooled off
I didn't
again.
say anything. I was listening to you.
Oh,
He was
Right.
saying,
well,
"Oh,
well, no. All I was gonna say was, but see, that should be a given though. If you have money left over, regardless whether she gives you an allowance or not, you should do those things regardless. Whether you have your own account, so it's not like I'm just gonna sit here. and I got my own account, if we got a joint account, then I'm not going to still do things out of my money that's in my own personal account for the house. You know, yeah, I go buy groceries without asking because
Well,
I know we
here's a
need
question.
something.
What you be doing
We
with your
might.
money?
What you mean?
Right.
What
And
you
that's
mean?
like,
What I do with my
I'm
money? I
messing
just
with you.
told you that. I just
I'm
said
still,
that.
I'm still stuck on the she gives me an allowance. That hurt my soul a little bit right there. I don't like that. That don't sound
but
like it
that's what
works
you were
together.
saying, right? That you don't
I
want to
feel
feel
like
like
I'm 12. I'm 12 all over again.
Most
Like,
don't mind.
Right.
you know.
And he
Most say we
told
don't
me, and
mind.
he told me to check my ego. Check my ego.
But
Ooh,
Yeah.
the last person gave me allowance was Willie Green and Llewellyn. That
And
was
what
what
year was
about
that? And what year was that show?
Wait a
man,
minute.
that was
Your
like
mom's name is Luella.
1980, 82 or
Right.
something.
Right. So
that's
now
what I want, Tina.
the allowance has
Means that
become the separate accounts. That's like each other's allowance. So it's an allowance, but it's
your
like
allowance is from what you got left after you pay your bills.
right, like once you put into that the joint account, and then like whatever that number is that y'all working with
Right.
on a regular basis.
Right.
So it is an
But
allowance
you're
in a
giving
sense
yourself
that
your allowance. Your allowance is
right,
based
you
on
Right,
give it
but you
to
giving
yourself.
what you
yourself
have
that. But
left.
Yeah.
I was speaking on you got one account.
Yeah.
Now if you, but I
As,
can't.
as, as she handled the finances, and she said, okay, here's your 200, baby.
But we're not doing. We can't do the one. We
What?
can't do the only one account. It's the house
Right.
account, and then it's the your
We've
account,
done
my
I've
account.
done it several ways. We've done it
That's what Mika is saying though. Mika say you get a joint account. Well, even Tactical Tina asked the question. Do you have one joint account and then you have your own separate accounts? And that's what
Mhm.
Mika is talking about. She's saying, okay, we have one joint account, and then you have your account of what you got left out of what you put into the joint account, and then I have what I have left out of what I put into the joint account.
that's your
So,
allowance.
so yeah, you give yourself your allowance, but I'm talking about if you just got one joint account and nobody got separate accounts, and then you've been handed a certain amount for the week. Here you go.
Yeah, no.
Mm.
well, what if it's an agreed upon amount?
But what if you
No,
got to go to
I'm
Crawford
not
with
gonna
your
agree on
personal
that.
money? How would you
That's
feel
still
I
about
not.
have my own account.
It's got to be
And
like
how
a
do you? Oh,
percentage, or I'm sorry, it's
But
got to
what
be like
about
a
Crawford?
percentage and understanding on what that allowance is, and that is, in a
Mm.
sense, it has to be an agreed upon amount, right?
Mm.
Or a percentage, or
The problem to me that comes in when you have one account, and only one account, is okay. Let's say all bills are paid and there's money left, and you say, okay, we have this one, gonna spend this. The problem still comes in if I go out today and I spend this. Let's say we're both in different places and we're both doing stuff.
right,
It's the problem that if everybody's swiping, spending, whatever, then that becomes a problem. And being an adult, I'm not gonna call every movement and say, hey, look, I want to do this. Can I? Is it okay? Or
yeah,
that's not the joint account should be for households strictly and only. Everybody needs their own separate things. If I need
that
gas,
is
if I want to go to
100%.
whatever,
so
because just like
But
Show said, in our separate accounts, we still grocery shop. I might be like, we go to Sam's. One of us will pay for Sam's and then go back to the grocery store. The other one pays for that. Okay, you did this one, I got this one. We're still
right,
contributing
There you
to the
go.
house
so
right.
quick question then. Do you guys create budgets?
for the household. Yes.
Hmm. Because I
Yeah,
guess
we
that's
have
what I'm
to.
saying. Like, huh?
I see. Yeah, we have to. That would be good.
Because if you have,
Well, I
the
got racks
the
on racks.
food
It don't bother
budget,
me.
you say what?
Say it again, L.
If you have the food budget, let's just say you budget $1,000, right? Then
Mm-hmm.
why can't people swipe out of that, but just make sure you keep up with it with online banking? And I'm talking as if you have one account. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? Like if you have an entertainment budget, if you have a whatever budget, could it not work that way?
Well, what
I
about
would,
No,
what
I
about
don't think so.
hobbies? Like I got like I DJ, and
Mm-hmm.
I do a little videography. Like this
Yeah.
equipment, like I just this thing is brand new. Is pretty expensive. Then I got
It's a nice piece of change.
the sister over here. She like this some expensive stuff. So how do you work that in? How do you work that
You
into the budget?
It would be a line item in the budget. You know what I mean? Like you can create whatever line items you want, whatever you're into,
Right,
and you just put that amount of money in the budget.
right. And
She
But
might
see,
have one for shoe, a clothes. I don't, and it
Right.
might be bigger than yours.
right.
But
you
it's
also
just
got to think
how you.
about
Oh,
you got
that's
to
too much to me.
you got
But
yeah.
see,
But you
I use
also
an
got
online budgeting tool, so I
Right.
have to budget.
Yeah.
I mean, the
right. I
budget,
get
I,
that.
that's
I
Hey,
fine.
you
learned.
But
I
for,
too must budget.
but for instance, if he's doing something different, like my husband tutors, when he tutors, that's his money. He keeps that. But if I need something or want something, I just say, hey, because I also keep up with how often he tutors and by how much money he should have. And then I'll just ask for it.
Oh, so the tutor money.
It's in my account, his account.
She
Just,
watching that, boy.
So the
I
tutor
see you
money.
went
I don't
tutoring
blame
3
her.
times last week.
So the
Let's
tutor
see.
money
You
won't
should
go
have
into the joint.
carried the two.
no, because that's extra money. That's extra stuff that he does on the side. He does
By
tutoring,
the
he does
10th
reads. That's extra.
power
Oh, that's interesting.
That's extra.
divided
But
by 6.
so
Okay,
we
go ahead.
discussed kind of, if he's like when he referees, that's kind of one check that they get at the end of the
Oh, she
season.
counting all
And
that, bro.
Right.
Ooh.
well, no, he'll tell me and we discuss it. We'll
You on
discuss
top of that,
it.
ain't you, Mika?
He'll
You
say,
on
okay,
top of
here's how
that.
much my check was. And
I
I'll
like
say,
how he thinks.
you should keep this for your. It might be something we need to do or something you want to do. Say, we'll save this, but I'll say you need to keep some money for yourself because you worked. You're the one that worked. You worked. You didn't do
Then,
everything should
then you
not go
say,
here. You should keep some for yourself.
then you
Right.
say, wait a minute. How you got no extra? Did y'all go to double overtime last night? I know y'all went to double overtime. Did you get some overtime money for that?
No,
She
first
love
of
that
all,
whistle. Where
there
is
used
that
to be
whistle?
a time. There was a time years ago when the kids were little, and at first I used to hate that he refereed because he was always gone. Wrestling season, he was always gone. But then they had tournaments on the weekends, and it used to be years ago when he would go to the tournaments and they would pay him in cash. So he would come
Oh,
home
yeah.
and give me the cash. So
Yeah.
then I started really loving it. I really love it. I'd be like, you refereeing this week, and especially around
Right.
Christmas, because we would take that referee money out buy the kids Christmas stuff. But then they stopped it, so now they just give one check at the end of the season. But I
But you
like
still
that.
love him, don't you? You still love him. You
Yeah.
still really love him, don't you?
Yeah,
I heard you say you really started loving him when he was getting that
Hey,
cash.
that man bringing multiple streams.
I
of
didn't mind him
income.
doing it then.
That man is important in that household.
But
Yeah,
speaking of that
that's
though,
the thing.
so now you saying, and now Elle, you talking about using the budgeting tool. So you also have to think about vacations and all of that. So sometimes, I mean, for us, what works for us is even though we have our, see, I got another little savings thing, called a Crown Royal bag too. So I got that hidden somewhere, but
Right.
when
Crown
you
Hidden
get
Royal
from
ready.
who?
and loans. I
What you
got
mean from who? What you mean? What you mean? Ain't no
Why
hours
is
on
it?
here. There are no hours on here. What hour at? Who? What you say
Who?
who for?
Why you hiding that?
Hide it from other people.
Because I want to make sure. I want to make sure that when we decide we want to go somewhere, I can take care of it if I have to. You know what I'm saying?
But see, that brings up a
And
question for me though. Do
oh
you
Lord, I
reveal
shouldn't even told
all
y'all
of
that.
your
I messed up.
money?
Absolutely not.
Oh Lord Jesus!
Okay.
Oh Lord Jesus, boy!
So
Nope.
You got to have some
If you
rainy
sitting
day
on
cash,
gold
man.
mine, if you were sitting on 80 G's, let's say, how much would you tell your husband you really have if it came up?
I would sell. Let me see, 80, maybe about
Ooh, you got to think about that.
30.
Wow.
listen
You
here,
say
Crown
about
Royal
30?
bag. You need a
She finna come
husband.
up with a number. She finna
But
come
not
up with a
because
number.
I'm trying to keep it for me. I'm gonna use that still for, like, if it's a vacation, I'll be like, I got it. Not because of that,
You
but
obviously
because
ain't finna tell him
you
everything.
don't, because sometimes people will, and maybe I'm speaking because it's me, I'm that person. Sometimes people be like, oh, you have this, so they'll kind of think about how they can spend that. So you don't need to know everything. Everything. Because
No,
he
see,
You're
definitely
making
don't tell
plans
me.
with your money.
He always tells me if he won the lottery, I'd probably be the last person he tell. Because he said, because we wouldn't be rich long to figure out to spend it. So it's okay. It's okay. But also,
Oh
if
my
something comes
God.
to the punch, I got it then.
I'm just tripping on the fact that you had to think about that.
I understand.
She said you had 80 G's. You said, wait a minute, let me see.
No,
I was like,
I thought about how much. She said, how much would you tell
How
him
much?
you
yeah,
had?
how much would you tell him that you had?
Think
And you
about
said, wait a minute, let me see.
Not 80. And he
That
would
means
say,
you started
he didn't tell
subtracting.
me, he didn't tell me
She
80.
said about 30.
I said 30.
What?
Dang.
Oh my
Dang,
goodness.
that is.
Things
No
gonna be
lies
taken.
being
Well, yeah, I
told.
gotta
I hope he don't see this show.
Right.
Go ahead.
He doesn't. He would do me the same way. He would not
He's
tell me.
probably in earshot.
He would
Yeah,
not
you
tell me.
probably.
I'm gonna ask
What
him.
you say?
He wouldn't tell
What you
me.
say?
And
Right.
I know he wouldn't tell me, and that's okay. As long as but here's the thing: I know when he has money because he'll never tell me no to stuff. So I told him, I said, no, you have extra money because you don't tell me.
I need to meet this
And
brother.
he'll keep
Giving
giving
all the secrets right now.
So
This
Yeah.
to me,
To
this
know all
doesn't
his
sound like
secrets.
50-50 at all.
I hope he watch this show. I hope he watch it. Oh,
Now, here's
that's how
the
she
thing.
know I got money?
Well, I have
I
an
can't say no.
issue. I have
All right.
somewhat of an issue. So people talk about 50-50 all the time now. And really, here's the perspective I come from. I think a lot of talk of 50-50 comes from men now because men are like, I want 50-50. I'm not doing 100. Because I think too many men today, how can I say it?
They want to be kept.
Just say it.
They want to be
Just say
kept.
it. Just
No,
say it.
no, they're not built like the men from before, And my thing is, and I hear people talk about, well, it's because of the money. No, it has nothing to do with that. Because at the end of the day, if you want to provide 100% for your household, you can. People do it. There are people who do it now. There are people who did it before. But the men of today are not like my dads. They're not like those men anymore. They're not.
So what's the difference? I'm just curious.
I think y'all think it's lazy. I'm not gonna say you personally, but I mean,
Right. No, I didn't think that way. I get it.
they're lazy, but they don't want that accountability. They don't want that true accountability of man, of what being a man and taking care of your family is.
They
Wait a
want
minute. Y'all getting off the